Unctad sounds alarm. Trump's tariffs threaten global economic stability asterisk. The United Nations Conference on Trade and Development Unctad has issued a stark warning to the Trump administration, urging a reconsideration of its recently imposed tariffs, particularly those targeting the world's most vulnerable nations. The organization argues that these tariffs, far from protecting American interests, pose a significant risk of causing widespread economic harm, disproportionately impacting impoverished and developing countries. Unctad's scathing report, released Monday, highlights the absurdity of the current situation. 28 countries, each contributing less than 0.1% to the U.S. trade deficit, have been singled out for punitive tariffs far exceeding the 10% baseline. This arbitrary targeting is not only economically unsound, but also morally questionable, argues Unctad. The report cites several egregious examples. Laos, a nation striving for economic growth, faces a staggering 48% tariff. Mauritius, a small island nation, is burdened with a 40% levy. And Myanmar, still recovering from a devastating earthquake, is hit with a 45% tariff, a cruel blow to a nation already struggling to rebuild. These disproportionate tariffs, Unctad argues, are not a targeted response to trade imbalances, but rather a blunt instrument inflicting unnecessary economic pain. The White House's recent 90-day pause on the higher tariffs, implemented after triggering significant turmoil in global financial markets, offers only temporary respite. The underlying issue remains. The tariffs themselves are fundamentally flawed and counterproductive. The 10% across-the-board levy, while seemingly less severe, still represents a significant barrier to trade for many developing economies. Adding to the confusion, President Trump's weekend pronouncements appear to contradict his Friday announcement regarding exemptions for certain high-tech goods, such as laptops. This inconsistency further underscores the haphazard and unpredictable nature of the administration's trade policy. The lack of transparency and the frequent policy reversals create uncertainty and instability, hindering investment and economic growth globally. Unctad's call for exempting the poorest and smallest countries from these reciprocal tariffs is not merely a plea for humanitarian aid. It's a pragmatic appeal for economic stability. The organization argues that these tariffs will not address the underlying causes of the U.S. trade deficit, but instead will likely trigger retaliatory measures, leading to a damaging trade war with far-reaching consequences. The report underscores that the current approach is counterproductive, harming the very countries least equipped to withstand economic shocks. By targeting these nations with excessively high tariffs, the U.S. risks undermining global economic cooperation and stability. Unctad's strong recommendation is for the administration to reconsider its strategy, prioritizing a more nuanced and targeted approach that focuses on genuine trade imbalances, rather than punishing the most vulnerable members of the global community. The current policy, in Unctad's view, is not just economically damaging, but morally reprehensible. The world deserves better than this arbitrary and unpredictable approach to international trade. The long-term consequences of such actions could be devastating, significantly impacting global economic growth and stability. A more responsible and equitable approach is urgently needed.